Hey guys, you're watching Daniel and Gian, and today we're going to do a quick review of Rukh. It's a 2017 feature film starring our guy, Manoj Bajpayee.
For about 15 minutes.
Before I get started, I want to make sure that you smash that like button, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, ring the bell if you are.
And let us know in the comments what movie you would like us to review next. That way we can get that out of the way, because we always save that to the end, and most people don't watch to the end.
Let us know.
Okay.
Hashtag DJ request.
But let's get to the movie. You selected this one. You wanted to watch it. You know,
yeah,
since the teaser.
So we did a
trailer.
reaction to the trailer last year or 2 years ago. I don't remember when, and we liked it. Like, you know, it looked different. It looked cool. And the cinematography definitely held up. The film was beautifully shot. It looked.
I think it lived up to the trailer. And I don't think it went 1 centimeter past the trailer.
Right.
Like, you saw the trailer and...
You know what the story was about.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You kind of get told the story. And I don't mean visually.
Well, to a certain extent. There was definitely a hint of mystery, and we find out there's no mystery at all. And I think that's what
I'm saying. They explicitly tell you the story by the end, at the end of the fucking movie.
Right.
As, you know... There's definitely some creativity going on. When we were talking about the movie beforehand, the way I summarize it is, it's a beautiful film. The director knows what he's doing in terms of like wanting very specific things.
Right.
You know, when he's showing...
This is the director's first feature, by the way. Hasn't done a feature since either.
Well, I mean, it's only been 2 years.
Done short films.
Either way, but I'm just saying, like the crash, like revealing when Manoj is dead, he's showing close-ups of the... You know, so he doesn't have to show a destroyed car. Like, these are very particular shots. And then the editing, the way the story's kind of told out of order, but like very organically. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, unlike other movies that are like this, like Pulp Fiction or Amores Perros or whatever, those films are deeper because you get character development. You're with these characters as they're doing things that you're enjoying them doing or whatever. In this... It's just character strides, like paintbrush, like by the numbers. Manoj is, but it's so ambiguous that you really don't know what's going on.
I mean, that's because the movie was basically about his son.
No, but I'm saying.
I think that's
but
part
there's
of
never
it.
a scene. There's never a scene.
I mean, you really don't get
between
to learn
father and son
that
makes me give a shit about how. How do I put this into words? So I've lost my dad, and like in the beginning, the way that when he walks in the hospital and he sees his dad, I'm like, oh, I was connecting, but then I'm like, there's no scene in which Manoj and him are ever together, really having a relationship with one another,
right? To
make me believe that he would even care to do all these things. Like, why would he care about his dad dying? Like, beyond the obvious, like, oh yeah, but the film doesn't show like tough love. It doesn't do anything because they don't have scenes together.
No, I agree with that. I think it depends on how you look at the story, and I think
because he's always working.
Well, it starts happening where
so you can't have one scene with him.
The kid comes back from boarding school, obviously because his dad dies, and then he starts finding out. Wait a second, why are we spending so much time at my grandmother's house? And then finally, mom comes out and says, he goes to where he grew up, and
discovers a bunch of stuff.
That, oh shit, the neighbor says, your parents haven't been here for this amount of time. They moved out. He had no idea, and they weren't going to tell him either, or they're going to tell him eventually. So that leads to him like, why is this happening? And then he decides to do his own investigation. Like that's really what it comes down to, is like that, those little things like.
Yeah, but why would you care?
Well, I mean, he's a high school kid, first of all.
Yeah, but show one scene of them.
No,
together.
I'm not saying
the movie doesn't set up a reason to care.
I'm not saying that wouldn't make it better. It would have definitely made it better because I'll be completely honest with you. I wasn't really a fan, especially at the end. The end, I was like, oh, fucking great. Like when you find out the reveal at the end, which was a terrible reveal.
What, the apology, or that he committed suicide?
They committed suicide, yeah, And just little things, and then that leads me to like thinking about other shit as well. Like
I think that has to be the worst way to commit suicide too.
Yeah,
like because
you could have survived that.
Yeah, you probably could have.
Yeah,
I mean, you'd have to. I mean, put yourself on a train track. I'll believe that.
Right.
Like you lock yourself on the train, especially since we've seen fucking Indian trains. Not the best.
Right.
Not the best. Fucking And because people are like, oh, let's have our fire festival on the train tracks, and the train's going to go run all of them over because they don't, clearly they have a, well, you can't, to Indian train conductors' credit, it's not fucking hard, or excuse me, it's impossible to instantly stop a train.
I mean, we see when a train here, when it hits somebody, it's game over.
Well, didn't your sister she just was on a train and they ran someone over.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So she technically ran someone over because she was in the train. That's what I was saying. Her fault. Yeah. No, she tweeted. She said that
because the train stopped, and she had no idea.
She had no idea why the train stopped, like in the middle of nowhere, and then they basically told them like we ran someone over.
Right.
Which means they disintegrated them, probably.
Right.
That's what I would assume.
They chewed them up.
Yeah.
At the very least, but no, I don't know. Like, I completely understand where you're getting from. Why?
But it's not just their relationship. It's the mom. It's the side business friends. It's literally any character in the movie. We have
flashbacks, but the flashbacks don't show enough of anything other than the shady relationship.
Everything's suggested.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it's like concrete.
Well,
it's like ambiguous. Oh yeah, no, your dad.
It was an attempt at throwing.
And then the mom knew the whole time.
It was an attempt at throwing a curveball, like to try to distract you.
I think the curveball could have worked. I didn't have setup. It's very uncommon for me to say this, but this Indian movie was too short. This is a movie that needed an extra 20 minutes at least. At the least 20 minutes.
I mean, maybe.
30 minutes. One song.
I mean, different scenes could have helped.
Yeah, different scenes. I think that the story at its core could work.
I think there was too much attempt to try to like distract you, to try to like push you in a different direction.
Look how good of a filmmaker I am.
Yeah, and well, it was trying so hard to be different that you like kind of mess up your own picture by doing so. If that makes any sense.
I just think if it's his first film, then it's just first film jitters. I think someone like this, if they re-examine critiques, because I think overall the movie was all right. Like overall, if you're to assess it as a filmmaker, there's definitely something to like be proud of making that. I feel like, even if it's just shot selection or working with those actors and maintaining a shooting schedule, finishing the movie, like there's things to commend. I just think that they can be tightened up as you evolve and move forward. Because for me, the heart was missing, I think is the best way to put it. Whether that's additional scenes, the heart was missing.
Do you think maybe that has to do with you like relating to the subject matter to a certain extent?
No, because I'm not demanding scenes of them together. But you watch any other movie like this, and you have at least one scene. I mean, in The Godfather, you have scenes with all the characters.
I mean, but they did have that scene where they kind of got into a fight, and then he apologized to him, and they said, "Hey, this is the problem with this, or whatever." There was a tidbit there.
It was small though.
They were all very small scenes. If anything, the scene that was the most out of place was him like bashing that kid's leg. That had no motivation whatsoever.
Well, he was angry, but we don't know why he's angry.
Right.
This is my whole point.
Yeah.
The things that they do is fine. The events of the film are fine. It's missing the connective tissue. And
I get that.
That's it.
I'm just saying, for me, like everything else kind of made sense except for that part. Like,
that
that little scene made no sense whatsoever. It was unnecessary. Like, and then he had to talk to him at the end. Like, why?
To apologize, I guess.
But why?
I don't know. This is what I'm saying.
He was a fucking prick.
He was. He bullied him. Yeah. He bullied him, and then she fucking beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe because he's a nice person and he wants to be more like his dad.
Right.
Maybe that's the whole thing. Oh, my dad wasn't this piece of shit that I'm angry and sent me off to boarding school. Well, but he got sent off boarding school because he broke the kid's leg.
Right.
So, I don't know. And the other thing is, I don't know why that's a whole nother channel.
I mean, I feel like they were trying to show a disconnect between father and son because father wasn't around enough, but we didn't have any scenes where he's like trying to talk to him and he's just completely ignoring him because he doesn't know who he is.
The best way to show disconnect is not absence. It's when they're in the same fucking
right
place.
Absolutely.
And there's an absence, and they're occupying
Like
the
just
same
something,
space.
just something small. Like they're at dinner and nobody's talking.
The scene with him and his wife talking could have easily been a scene where the kid was there.
Right.
And it could have been, you could solve it in one scene.
Right.
Movies do it all the time. Foil scenes where
Well, no, like I said, just a dinner where everybody's talking, keeps on trying to ask him questions, and he doesn't respond. You know.
Or I'm fucking busy.
Yeah.
It could be like literally just him working, because that's his whole thing, right? That's what we're supposed to believe, that he's this hard.
Right.
I mean, and that's a whole fucked up situation in and of itself.
And then the grandfather relationship as well, like wasn't really.
That's the thing. I don't know what kind of criminal enterprises they were trying to do. They were not paying workers. Like, how do they get away with that?
I didn't quite understand what was going on. It seemed like some sort of money laundering situation. But then at the same time, like the guy's screwing up, so he's screwing up, so he's gonna like shut down the factory because he screwed up. Like, hey guys, gotta shut down the factory. Gotta shut down the factory.
What are they selling? That's what I'm trying to what are they making?
I don't know, man. There was so many like.
And why are they still working for him after 4 fucking months?
Exactly.
Like, these are things that.
And why are you letting him like do that to you as well? You know, like I would have snitched right away. Like, this guy's doing some shady shit. He's ruining
you haven't getting paid.
And then he's taking loans from him too. So he's like shuts down your. That's what that really confused me. Like, okay, so guy shuts down your factory for 4 months, and then he's loaning you money as well, and probably charging interest that you have to pay back. You know, so this guy completely.
I just want to know why Manoj wanted to why he thought it was his responsibility to pay for.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at.
Let me just kill myself.
You killed yourself to collect life insurance to pay back the dude who was screwing you over in the first place.
Or maybe he didn't get.
Or maybe he was. Maybe he
was suicided. Maybe he was Epsteined.
Well, that's what the kid was trying to investigate, but it turns out it wasn't because the suicide note.
I'm saying
maybe the suicide note was made up too.
Yeah, maybe it's like the Joker.
I mean, this is
all in his head.
All in our heads. All in his head. Who knows? But no, I mean, honestly, this film didn't really have an effect on me. Like, I'm not gonna remember this movie. You know, we're having this discussion, and
you'll remember it.
Will I?
As the movie where it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch that movie. If someone was like, hey, you want to watch this movie? I heard it's pretty good. You'd be like,
fair enough. I'd be like, yeah, maybe, you know, you should probably watch this by yourself. Yeah, I'm gonna go home.
Yeah, that's how you
call me later.
So, in your DVD collection?
No.
Rental?
This goes in the trash.
All right.
Yourself?
I watched it. It was a Netflix. I wouldn't watch it again, no.
Okay.
Cinematography was good, though. I really did like cinematography. Yeah. I did. I thought the way they edited it was different. I just thought that story, like, yeah, I don't know.
We'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys.